All right, recording to the cloud. I think we definitely just wanted to share this and thank you everyone for chipping in.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to get out of the pen now to move stuff.
So the banner on the top will say done drawing, I think.
There we go.
You see it there? Yeah.
So Erica, tell us about your comment about liking or loving the behavior of this.
Well, I appreciate the request about can we help, and also, and I'm sorry, I don't know who said it, but somebody was sharing techniques. Who was that?
That was Ken.
Ken. So Ken was sharing knowledge with the rest of the team, just kind of organically.
Come on.
Awesome. So we have one completed green box. We're working on our second.
Velocity 1. All right. Oh, no.
Catherine, would you otherwise time box this, or we just, you did say this is an experiment, so.
Yeah, so I've never seen this done anywhere digitally. This is totally an experiment. I wonder how others think. Do we see a opportunity to reduce this? Maybe we could get rid of lane number 2.
Of course, I'm taking fill in the box literally. I guess I could have been smart and asked.
If you could copy and paste. Oh. You're not supposed to innovate the process. We're supposed to...
Just do, huh? Okay.
I think if you did it with like a more generic audience, you might want to like let it run for a certain, because they won't hack it the same way we do, right? Like,
yeah,
they'll do what you tell them.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you have to kind of have a plan to either time box. They don't care if there's a time box. So I think it's for you to decide like when the pain has been sufficiently made visible.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop, and then give the instruction of, okay, now you guys can decide how to make it go better.
Yeah, like what are we learning here? You know, how many people do we have swarming around, you know, coloring the boxes?
Yeah, I'm learning
And
that.
if anybody is free and wants to color, I would appreciate
Some help.
Coming your way.
So bad at coloring.
Are you still bullets over there?
Yeah, it's not my forte.
Yeah,
Well, especially this way.
What's your experience? How does that feel, feeling like the bottleneck?
I think we need to I think we need to change the process.
Yeah,
How
That's-
so?
that's basically where I would be at this point. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
we need to change the process where checking it is the last thing.
Yeah. So like the analog to this is you're coloring with a marker, you know,
Yeah.
so in this digital space, like, oh, well, how can I do multiples? How can I innovate?
Mhm.
But if
Mhm.
you're physically in a space and you're just trying to understand the concept of a bottleneck and how we can swarm around the lighter lifts or you know, move resources to meet the need to move things along. Yeah. So that was great. How else?
Someone keeps stealing the color that I'm trying to do. My box and then someone takes it. It's just like using like Scrumbler or something when you're using sticky notes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm still trying to
this
figure
is
out how do I move a box down to Linda.
Oh,
once
Linda,
I've
come grab it.
Yeah, she can grab it.
the person below.
Right.
Okay, I'll go resize some more, maybe.
Yeah, Linda can grab it.
So I see.
Well, I've
one
been
box
grabbing
here.
things from 1 and just bringing it right down to 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, that didn't work so well.
We have some process hackers for sure. Cheating, all of you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, really. Look at that.
Yeah. So would anyone find this useful or can think of some applications or
Well, Jill,
other-
Jill, iPhone had mentioned something here. Jill, do you want to talk about how you used it with second graders?
Oh yeah. Oh, you had
Yes, I
an
can.
assembly line production?
Yeah. Do you want to tell us how you use it for second graders?
For second graders, we were having them color donuts. So someone would have to punch the donut out, and then one would color it. Another one would put a sticker for the ingredients. Another one would expect it at the end. So we were teaching them unit and assembly line production. They would count how many they made using the different steps, or they either did it by themselves or people had different roles.
I miss the crop tool on this thing.
Thank you,
so cool,
Jill. Thank you, Jill.
Yeah.
There may not
Have you
be
guys
one.
played the note card version of this where you have to write out the ABCs?
No. Can you explain it a little bit more?
There's one where, same concept really. You have a team and you have everybody set up, and the customer wants, a pack of note cards, like, let's say 50 note cards, and you have to do this, but one team has to write, letters A through F, and then next person writes, whatever, what's next after G through L or something. And then, so you had like 3 people writing, and then you had an inspection person there that did nothing more. And then you had another person that had actually delivered it to the customer. But then that's what you're doing is like, hey, none of these everybody had different handwriting, and there's nobody that's doing this. There's no template. It's all like, I would not pay for this. And that's kind of the lesson you're driving home. Like, it was just all wonky.
Well, and I'm about ready to quit this. So that tells me something about this process.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry for an analog version. Like, this would be really fun with a bunch of sticky notes and markers, and just get your team in a room. Yeah.
Actually, I might have notes.
I saw something similar to that. They were making they were paper folding, and everybody had a step, and it was either making boats or hats.
Mhm.
And it didn't take long for everybody to. I think they wound up specializing so that the first 3 folds didn't. Everybody did the first 3 folds, and then they passed them around. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like the one Ken was. This is Veronica. I like the one Ken was just talking about. I did a similar one at an Agile conference years ago that was called 99 Test Balloons.
Fun.
And what it had in common with what he talked about is, so you had to make balloons and make these faces on them. And then you bring them to the front of the room, and the arbiter, like the trainer, would reject things and reject them violently. Like, I remember the explanation was like, when you reject it violently.
No soup for you, boy.
Yeah, and it was to create this emotional experience of how it feels to be rejected when you have not been told what you were asked, what expectations were.
Exactly.
Come
Yeah.
on.
That's very cool. Yeah, Ken, if you have instructions for that activity, or if anyone has this triggers.
Yeah, I think I have it in we played it.
Well,
so we did it in the Air Force, our 6 Sigma class. So I think I have it. I just got to find it, and I'll put it in the Dropbox here.
well, what'll even be better, Ken, is if you shared in our Google form.
We'll take it anyway, and then we'll put
I don't
it
do
in.
better.
Okay.
You don't do that. Okay. Well, thank you.
Cheese.
Thank you, everyone, for Marjorie, Shruti, Ken, Pear, and Linda for being our awesome Agile team.
Ah, shucks. I think
It
I
was
finally.
great.
Now wait a minute. I think I finally got the hang of this thing.
Let's continue.
Oh, that's okay. It looks like I get to do the assembly at the bottom, no matter what you guys do. Oh, it's kind of a
I
drag.
think we should have written a PI objective to finish a certain number of boxes.
Yeah,
I would have thrown back all of them except for those 2 in this one.
yeah, and I didn't do anything but pull those down. So and give me back my swim lane.
Awesome.
And
Okay.
let's move Ken's swim lane back up.
All right. Beautiful work. It's awesome. Thank you, everybody. Let's
Look at all the rejects off to the side.
Nice. Okay. we still have Marie.
Marie. I think Marie's still here.
I need help with story cubes. Has anyone played story cubes before? Oh, okay. I've got to go to an external link.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It looks really fun. Oh, did Marie leave? Darn it.
Oh, okay.
And Nancy isn't here either because they both submitted this.
All right.
I feel like I played with them once before though.
So you're gonna be more expert than we are. Okay.
Maybe I'm bringing that file online right now.
Oh. All right. Okay. All right. This is a link to. I think story cubes are there's an analog there in real life as well. So we go to this site and we press go, and it's gonna scramble our story cubes. What I understand that we do is we have to make up a story about what the objects that we see here. Does anyone want to take a stab?
Put the story in order.
I don't think there's any order. I think you
Okay.
get to craft a story with all of these elements in the order of your choosing.
Okay.
Is that an envelope?
Oh.
What is that thing next to the fire?
Yeah, that's what I wondered.
I think it's an ID card.
I would think so too.
You have a clock or, well, I don't want to read the objects because people can interpret them
Yeah.
in different ways.
Zoom in a bit more.
Yeah, zoom in a little bit. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
Right.
very, very definitely something.
Who wants to give it a go?
I want to know what the thing at the bottom in the middle is.
Oh, I know what I would call it.
Oh, maybe that comes out in the storytelling. Okay.
Linda, do you want to take a stab?
Sure. Let's see. Where do I need to be? I'm going to stay right here. You roll it.
Oh, do you want to do a fresh one or do you want to use these elements?
Oh, I'll use this one.
Okay, because we rolled it, yeah.
Early in the morning, I went to the airport to fly on a plane. I had to pull out my ID and show it to the person, but all of a sudden there was a fire in the airport. Worked out really well until somebody got a half wheel of cheese, and then they figured out how to do it and realized that we had finally woke up the fire department, and they smothered the flames. Yeah,
With an octopus.
It's an octopus.
sure.
Awesome.
Did you weave in a wheel of cheese?
Yeah, well, it's the only thing I could think of for Half Moon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's it. You burned a crescent roll. Gee whiz.
Okay. All right. Let's have someone else take a try. You can think on it a bit before you go. Erica, want to take a stab?
No, I've had one shot at 7, which makes me stupid. So no.
Okay. Awesome.
How about Shruti? Is Shruti on?
Yep, I'm here.
You want to give a stab at this?
No, I'm. This is just
We have to use all of
way
the
too
cubes?
random. Yeah, do we have to use all of them?
I don't know what the rules are. I guess we could make up our own rules, but
More points for the more pictures you use.
yeah, there you go.
Very good. Yeah.
I am terrible at this stuff.
And I did
Okay.
it in order, but looks like you don't have to do that even.
I'll
Have
give
a
it a
good night,
try.
Erica.
I'll give it a try. I must have been born unlucky. I seem to be a magnet for bees. The other day I was walking around near some flower beds and I got stung by a whole bunch of bees and it was really painful and I started crying. Luckily, I keep a pet octopus at home in my aquarium and use the ink from the octopus to to heal my my bee stings, and that was the key for me to be able to. I don't know what to do with the beetle. What is that thing up there in the corner?
Mhm.
Curl up like a
Arrow.
beetle and go to sleep.
Curl up like a beetle and go to sleep.
That was good.
That's
Very,
hilarious.
that was so good. I think some people are word people. That's what I say. Like I need poets and writers. That's not me, but it's beautiful to hear how creative everyone can be. Here's some other examples. A guy committed credit card fraud and the FBI started investigating. Guy was on a plane in Mexico and something about a shadow monster.
Hmm.
You can kind of see other
Right.
examples. I eat my apple worryingly in Castell World. Training loomed over me like a shadow. My crying brain worked slowly, exploded into a fountain.
I was in that class.
Yeah. I think I could use this in like as a retro warm up or just in a meeting where you have a serious topic and you want to just get silly for a while. Has anyone used anything like this or?
Like that.
I think what would be fun would be to have each person pick 2 cubes and then try to tell a story together.
Yeah, like the exquisite corpse. Have you heard of that piece? It's like where you give people just a fragment and they add on to it, and then you try to get everyone to contribute with only a fragment to lead with, and then you create poetry that's kind of crowdsourced. I'm gonna find one day an analog or a digital way to do that, where you hide things just right.
Cool.
That
That was
great.
fun.
Yeah.
So we're at a little after 7. We still have time to share
Well,
some other things.
Yeah, so we've reached the end of our agenda. I think that we could just see, oh goodness, someone has exposed all of my drafts.
Yeah, because we had some hiding just in case we had more time.
Mm.
So we do have more time. And I wonder, okay, there's a complicated one now that Olaf's here. I wonder if you're able to explain or help or lead us through, since we were telling stories, tell us through 360 stories. And have you ever done this virtually?
Yeah, not virtually. I have done it in person, so it's a bit tricky virtually, but I like what you've done here. The idea behind this is that you have this board of colored rings and images and words that tell you, that give you a prompt for telling a story. Along with the game come 2 dice, one that's got colors on it and one that's got a number on it. And of course, there's a physical spinner that's in the center of this board. And so you spin the spinner, it lands on some place, and then you roll the dice, and the number on the dice is an index into a table, which has age ranges on it. And depending on your current age and the index on the table, you get to tell a story from your life that's related to the prompt that's given by the color, red, yellow, green, or blue, and where the spinner landed on the board. So I could roll, the spinner, let's say, could land on, I'm looking at Zoom here, it could land on 8, right? And so 8, and then maybe I've rolled the color die and it's green. And then the index maybe tells me that I'm supposed to tell a story from the time when I was between 12 and 14. And so now I would then say, okay, I need to tell a story about TV and film when I was about between 7 and 14, right? So when I was a teenager. So that would be the mechanics of the game. And then everybody just gets to take a turn. And it's, of course, up to you what you want to talk about, other than, you know, the prompt that you're getting here with a single word or a combo. And actually in the game itself, you also have the option to re-roll the dice if your colored die lands on black or white. And there's a difference between the black and the white, which I forget right now. So those are the mechanics of the game.
I have questions about the mechanics. Where's the age?
So the age isn't visible on what you're showing right now because that comes with the physical game.
Okay.
So I've got the game here. I happen to have it right here. So I'm going to pull out the card that shows you the age thing. Okay. So this is the card that has the table with the ages, and the index is of course over here with the dice.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So each number represents an age range.
So if you were to roll, let's say a 3, and you are currently approximately 25, you would be asked to tell a story from when you were between 8 and 13. That's how that works.
Okay. So I'm like desperately trying to figure out how to make this digital, and you totally could with a lot of work. I wonder if we could give an example of that, like how you have here, let's say our spinner landed on this. It would just spin anywhere, so it would intersect with these kind of 4 colors. And then let's say we rolled blue.
Yep.
So you now then have a blue, and we got I think our dice said 4. That's a 2. So what is 2?
Yeah, so the 2, of course, is dependent on who tells the story and what their current approximate age is. So blue, what is that word that it says there? Chair? Huh?
The word says loneliness.
Loneliness. Okay, so you have to tell a story about loneliness. And depending on the age, you kind of have to go back in time all the time, right? So with a 2, that would probably be when you were pretty young. So let me see. If I were to tell a story about loneliness when I was fairly young, there was a time when I was watching a TV show, and the rest of my family wanted to go somewhere. And I didn't want to. I wanted to keep watching my TV show because it was really interesting. It was a movie. I think it was with some kind of Western movie, and it was just really fascinating. And they decided to leave without me. And I was shocked. And I was not very happy about that. I actually cried, and I felt very lonely after they had left. But I got over it, and I think I did enjoy the finish from watching the movie. So that could be an example.
So have you ever used this with a team? And do you find that people struggle to get vulnerable, or did people ever have a hard time finding a story or coming up with one?
Yeah, it can be hard to come up with a story. But what I have found is that some people tell really long stories and some people tell really short stories. And they do sometimes get a little bit vulnerable. I remember one time we played it with a team, and somebody told a story about how they got accused by their husband about stealing a bike when they had done no such thing, but they had just picked up a bike out of the goodness of their heart and tried to rescue it from somebody or from some situation. So yeah, it's up to you how vulnerable you want to get, but in any way or shape, you kind of learn something about people by playing this game, right? You get a little bit of a connection built, and I think that's the big thing about it.
I love that. I used to, I've been part of a project in the past called the Story Portal. And originally it was at festivals. And so we had a big steampunky Price is Right wheel. You spin the wheel and you get a topic, and you tell a true personal story inspired by that topic. And they were all sort of designed to, have lots of wiggle room. And then we had an online version for a while, which doesn't exist anymore, but you could customize the topics. And so at one point I customized the topics so that it was sort of safe for work. And I did it with like coaches at Rally.
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And same thing, like how vulnerable you get kind of depends on context and what people are willing to do. But the connection that gets created, I just love. It's like on the one hand, Olaf tells a story, it's only his, so it honors your uniqueness. And at the same time, you're describing an experience or an emotion that we've all had. And so it creates this empathy, connection, and universality. I love it.
Of course, the fun part you can also do here is you can challenge people and have them tell a story that covers all 4 colors.
Oh, is there some sort of points, or it's just like stretch? See if you can tell a story on each.
That's just to make it more challenging.
Make it more fun.
Like it would be death and friends and weather and courage.
Yep.
Yeah. I would maybe take out the age element at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. So would anyone want to take a try? We rolled a 3 and a yellow, but maybe we take out the age. Tell a story about friends. Does anyone have a story?
What was it? Friends?
About friends. Unless you want to try to weave death and friends and weather and courage.
Death. Wait, where are you? What number are you talking about?
So this black line is our spinner.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's what I wanted. Sorry, I need for some reason I needed to look at the words, even though you just said them.
Yeah, I'm the same. It intersects death, friends, weather, courage.
Ooh. Death, friends. I don't know if I can do weather. I don't know if I can do death, but I could do the other 3.
I think I have one that I could do for that.
Okay, great.
So several years ago, my friends and I were biking around Indianapolis, and we went up to the highest point within the city that is in a cemetery so that you can see the entire city, and it started storming really bad. My friends all decided to race down the super steep hill, so it took courage to go down. I did not have the courage to go down with it raining, so I was not courageous. And halfway down, the death of my bike tire occurred when I got my very first flat ever while biking in a cemetery. And by the time I got to the bottom of the hill, all of my friends were gone and I couldn't find anybody. So I'm biking around. This is before I knew I had a flat tire. I'm biking around the cemetery by myself in a storm, yelling for my friends. And then I ended up discovering I had a flat tire. So one of my friends came and found me, and we ended up underneath a tree trying to get cover from the rain while we were sitting next to in a cemetery. So we're sitting next to a bunch of headstones while trying to fix my tire.
That is so good.
Death of my tire for the storm and all my friends. Yeah. We got maybe a mile after fixing my tire before it went flat again. So a friend and I ended up sitting at a Starbucks while the rest of them went and got a car to pick us up. So yeah,
Awesome.
My very first flat tire while out biking was during a storm in a cemetery.
Nice.
What time of year and what time of day was it?
It was probably like September maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the middle of the day. So luckily it wasn't dark yet.
It was way creepier when I pictured it in the dark.
Yeah, that's scary. I love this. Like I think that getting vulnerable with your group, like having a facilitation tool to help encourage that. But I also like maybe the different spin-offs you could do, like spinning it and be like, does anyone have a story that could tie these things together? Because that was really kind of awesome how that happened, Marjorie.
Yeah, that was beautiful, Marjorie.
It was very random. I was like, death, friends, weather.
Like, I got it.
Got it.
Awesome. Let's see. So Sherry, I don't know that all are ready or like easy to share. Some of these are easier than others. We could share the gift battle. And then what do you think about ending it there? And we can share a resource.
Yeah, sure. And I don't think we've made it into a PDF format. Do we Do we need to, or do we?
We'll do that. Do you want to drop it straight into our folder so that we can just share the folder right after this? We can do both of those things. That way there's some instant gratification. And
yeah, I'll see if I can try and do that. Yeah, gift battles. This was my story that I contributed, but this is just a fun, goofy thing. Do you want to talk through that, Catherine, while I?
Yeah, except for the links. I don't know if the links are here to this.
I don't think they're, for the Adiva where it came from. It's in the Google Doc, but this just basically can be used in any kind of context you want. I mean, it's a good way of like kind of seeing where you can open your day at the beginning of a daily stand-up. Where are you guys at? How are you guys feeling? Some teams do like red, green, yellow. This is where I'm at, just so you kind of know where people are at for the day or the start of their day anyway. But this is a good way that you could just kind of touch base with your team. It's a great thing to open up a retro with, but how do you think that retro went? And then I can just throw a GIF in there and then explain like, it was a disaster or it was amazing and this is why. And, and then you can see their personality come through with whatever goofy or really serious gift that they share.
Yeah, it's not super, I don't have the link here, so it's not super accessible, but in the PDF that we'll share with you, there's a template for a Trello board. So Trello has where you can add GIFs so that you can put prompts in there. Like you can create a lane and you can say like, what's the best walrus GIF? And what I like about that game is that you can do it asynchronous, like let it kind of play out through the whole day or maybe the sprint. And you can just pull it up and see, at the end of the sprint to see who had the most interesting gifts and just share. So it's not something that you have to do synchronous, but I'm sure you could do as well. Yeah, so I think that's a good place to end, Sherry, because I would love to do a version 2 and some of these are quite longer. It's really great activity by Mark Kilby that was great for setting up teams and kind of talking about personality or working styles. It requires a little bit more time, about 60 minutes. So yeah, but thank you everyone so much for joining us. We do have Sherry can share the folder and whether or not we can put it in there shortly after. If we share the link to the folder, then we can make sure that resource gets to everybody.
Yeah, let me see if it shows up in there as a PDF.
Well, no matter what, this was awesome. Thank you so much.
This was super cool.
Yeah, and thank y'all for being patient with us as we were just really getting raw with trying things in real time. It was fun. Thank you for everyone who contributed in your collaborative for being here and giving context to your game.
If you do a part 2, I think I probably have a couple games I can, like 2 or 3 I can add to the
That'd
mix.
be awesome.
Cool.
I can bring the note card one. There's another one, draw pig exercise. Have you played that one?
No, but I think Mr.
Okay.
Ken Lewis,
So
we are
draw
putting
pig,
it
and
out.
there's another one where you have a board full of it's numbers, and it's 100 numbers, and you have to go through the board and pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order. But they're scattered all over the place. But there's a reason behind that too. So there's probably 3 games I can introduce right there.
Nice.
Well, we'll be following up with you.
The only thing is everybody has to have a marijuana joint in their mouth to play it. I'm kidding. I got a security clearance. I don't smoke.
So what I would say, guys, is I'm having it's not saving as a PDF for me. And when I do save it, I don't know where it goes. I have no idea where it went. So I would say if you guys share your email, I see some blinks where people did not share their emails. Share your email and then we'll just email this to you once we have it complete in a PDF format.
Awesome.
So I think it's Michelle and it looks like Vivid is going to enter something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you share your email, then we will share this via email. I think it's probably going to work out better, Catherine.
Sure. Yeah, there's a ton of games that aren't on there. There's some that don't really translate to digital. So we'll just email that out afterwards. And I think it would be nice to share it as a PDF that's really easy to print off. So we can do that immediately after this.
So closing announcements, we were gonna, for those of you who were late to joining us, we did show early on just a little review of the Mile High Agile website, so you guys can understand. Do you want to share your screen and reshare that, Catherine, or does everybody did everybody see that? Okay.
I've been on it before, yeah.
Yeah, there's some cool things on there. I just want to point out that there's other special interest groups, not just ours, under this umbrella, and then also Lori pointed out to us that there's a link to the Slack channel. So if you want to plug into this community via the Slack channel, it's really great. A lot of people put job postings there, events that are happening. We have some great surveys that have gone through there. We were invited to a summit for Mile High Agile, which was really great to participate in. So it's a really great resource for things like that.
And the link it's getting there slowly, I think. But the link is in the top of our sign up sheet as well.
Yep.
And it's just agiledenver.org, where you can find the link to join our Slack channel. So definitely encourage, if you have a job or are looking for a job, to join our Slack channel. And then, we want to definitely support the community. So if anyone has links to opportunities, please share that. And likewise, please let people know if you're looking.
Let, if there's a friend who's looking, there's that there as well, where you'd like to refer or tout somebody who you think is pretty great, if they're looking. Oh, good, you're sharing. And then some other exciting things that are happening with some upcoming events. Look forward to our February event on February 22nd. We're going to have the CEO of Scrum.org presenting on the 2020 Scrum Guide, myth busting about it. And he's a hoot, he's hilarious. So if nothing else, just join because he's hysterical. And you'll truly enjoy him. And then in March, we're going to be talking about metrics, but in a totally different way, looking at metrics, just understanding like how people understand metrics, or maybe even misinterpret metrics. Sorry, Catherine, did you want to share? You popped off. You were screen sharing. Oh no, did we lose our host?
Yeah,
we may have lost our host.
She made somebody else host, or
she just messaged me. I think her internet did drop. Her computer died. Oh no. She bought her daughter a computer because her daughter's obviously doing school from home, but she didn't buy herself one. So I think she's in the market for a new computer. But those are pretty much what our closing remarks were going to be. Did anybody have any questions or want to share anything here with everybody?
Yeah, I'll just say, like I said, I'm a new guy. I'm trying to branch into more of the agile type world right now. I'm big into lean and change management. So I guess if there's anything I can contribute in that lane, let me know. But I'm down here in Colorado Springs working in a supply chain. And so I'm definitely looking at any advice and expertise, just kind of got to get my skills up, so throw that out there.
Awesome. Well, join that Slack channel. I think you'll find a lot of interesting people there. And I have learned so much from going to all of these Agile meetups. It's been really great. All right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. On that note, I think I'll just end it there. And link to Slack channel, please. So Prashath, it's in the sign up sheet. You'll see it in that Google form. It's available there. Yeah. Yeah, it's there. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.